Okay, so same three formulas, principal times rate times times equals interest. Monthly payment minus interest is the payment to principal. This is the most important part in the lesson. Then taking the payment to principal from the previous balance and getting the new principal. So, can someone read example 1?
Rod and Carrie Finn obtained a 30-year loan of $280,000. Mortgage loan from the state bank and trust. The interest rate is 8%. Monthly payment is $2,055.20 for the first payment. What is the amount?
Okay, so it's asking for the first payment amount. So 280,000. We know it's 8%. So times 0.08. We want to figure out 1 month. So 1 month, there's 12 in a year. So 280,000 times 0.08 times 1 divided by 12 is 1866.67. So this payment right here is the amount that goes to interest. So then we take the total amount of their payment, the $2,055.20, we subtract the interest from it, and this is the amount that's being applied to principal, $188.53. Last thing we do is we take this $188.53 and subtract it from the $280,000. So after this payment, this is how much they owe. Okay? Good talk. Jason, can you read example 2?
The amount of principal that you owe decreases with each payment that you make. See figure 10.4 for the interest. Principal paid for payments 325, 326, 327 on an original 280,000 mortgage loan. For payment number 328, where are the interest payment to principal and new principal?
Okay, so what's important here is we want to go to the balance because it's looking at payment. Did it say 327?
It says 325, 326, and 327.
Oh, that's weird. So they definitely are, their months are definitely 360 then. I thought I heard 280 when you said that. Okay, so this is the balance, so we want to focus on what the balance is. What it was saying was 325, 26, and 27. It's just giving the breakdowns of the payments. We're not concerned about that. We're just concerned with what the balance is after the last payment. So it's this amount, 8%. Then we're also focused on the payment amount. Okay? So we're going to take that balance, the same thing like we took the 280. This is how much they owe now after the 327 payment. So $59,910 times 8% times 1 divided by 12 is $399.40. So we're going to take the $399.40, we're going to subtract it from the payment amount, the $2,055.20, and that'll show you on the schedule how much their payment is. So this is the amount that's going to be applied to principal, the $1,655.80. So we take the original balance of the $59,910.06, subtract the $1,655.80, and now the amount that they owe after this payment is made is $58,254.26. Now notice something. You see this payment amount?
Yeah.
This payment amount is exactly the same, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So what happens here, look how much is being applied to principal here, and look how much is being applied to principal here. Why do you think that is? You remember what I told you guys about loans? If you have a graph, okay, the way loans work is this.
Don't they get all their money first?
Very good.
So it stays like kind of like nearby.
So this would be principal. This would be interest. There's more interest on the front of the loan. So if you have more going to interest, you have less going to principal. So you're paying it down less, right? Well, this is a great example that shows this because this is the very first payment, right? So the only thing that they're paying their loan down by is $188.53. Well, this one's at $327, so this one's clear over here on this side. So look how much is going to principal. Very little to interest compared to this right here. And that's what happens in a loan cycle. So the banks are usually collecting more interest up front, all within that first 16 years of the loan. Very little is being paid to principal. So you want to remember that concept as you do your problems because notice these numbers are exactly the same. The payments are identical. But that amount is being applied to interest well almost towards the end of the loan, and this is the start of the loan. Which one does the bank like? Yeah, I like this one. Which one do you like?
What you're doing.
Right.
What-
Well, it's not really cheaper. You're just paying the loan down further. So this payment paid it down $1,650.80. That's a pretty big chunk, right? Whereas the starter loan, it was only $188.53 out of that $2,000 that was
He's
paid.
only just paying that,
Yeah, in his very first payment.
and that's his very first payment too?
No, this is 327 payments. So this is almost at the very end of the loan because this loan was at
Also,
360.
It increased over.
Yes, and that shows this principle, that it's more interest up front, more principal down towards the rear. So when you get further along in a loan, it's highly likely that it's not even worth paying it off early because you're paying so little in interest and so much is being paid in principal at that point, where in here, if you're able to reduce your rate, then it makes sense. But as you get further along in a loan, where you're paying so much principal, it doesn't make fiscal sense to refinance the loan.
Why is it that it starts out high?
Because,
Because like look, it starts at 188.53.
yep,
And why would it start out high and then it goes
so
down?
this is this principle, when the banks are loaning money and it goes to that amortization schedule, you're getting charged more interest up front. So if we compare these payments, the payments are identical, right? But at the start of the loan, there's a lot of interest, very little principal. And then as you're paying the loan down, the balance is going lower. So they're charging less and less interest on the loan because you're paying that principal down. So if you look at this schedule, this shows it perfectly.
Yeah.
All these payments, okay, this is the amount of the interest, this is the amount of the interest, this is the amount of the interest. Notice it's only a couple dollars difference here.
Okay.
Okay, so over the life of a loan, as you keep making those payments and everything, obviously that principal is going to keep coming down, but at a lesser rate. So that lesser rate, they're charging less interest because you owe less in time. So once again, it works on this principle that there's more principal stacked in the front of the loan than the back side of the loan. Back side of the loan is you keep making payments. So think about it this way. You have a 4-year loan, and it's $1,000 a month. Okay? When you first start that loan, it's $1,000. You still owe a lot, right?
Okay.
Well, now into year 3, you paid $1,000 a month for 36 months, right?
All right.
So now you owe very little, right? Because you keep making those payments.
Am I only what am I going to be paying? Like just a portion or just like?
Yeah, because every amount that goes to principal lowers the amount that you owe at the end of the day. How much you're in obligation to the bank to pay back.
But does it go to principal at first?
It does, but very little. So it basically looks like this. You have in your loan,
That's that red part, right?
the red part would be the principal amount, how much you're paying it down, and the blue would be the interest. So there's more interest at the front of the loan than the back of the loan. So, okay? So when you get to these questions, you want to focus on what the balance is. All the steps are exactly the same. Any questions?